Australia has this morning put forward a compromise plan aimed at breaking the standoff in international climate change negotiations.
Climate Change Minister Penny Wong outlined the plan during a speech in New York. The Prime Minister is also there for talks with other world leaders this week at the United Nations General Assembly and the G20 summit.
Sky News political editor David Spears is in New York and he filed this report.
The plan that Penny Wong has put forward aims to break what's been a deadlock in the climate change negotiations ahead of the Copenhagen summit, now just 80 days away. It would see developed countries agree to cut their emissions, agree to legally binding economy-wide targets to cut their emissions. But for developing countries, China, India and others, they wouldn't have to make the same commitment. They would merely have to agree to use more renewable energy or reduce their deforestation or shift to cleaner energy sources under what would be individual national plans for each country to sign up to. So different rules for developed and developing countries. Here's how she explained it to us earlier.
Well, what we've proposed is that annexed to the overall treaty or the overall agreement, you would have national schedules in which countries could put in what they're prepared to do. And what we're trying to do is find common ground here between the different sorts of commitments that countries might be prepared to make. We know developed countries will need to make economy-wide reductions. Developing countries will make different sorts of commitments. And so what we are trying to put forward is an idea about how we might form an agreement that captures these different types of commitment.
So far, there's been some positive feedback from the United States towards this proposal, but no firm commitments from anyone. And that really is the problem here. The concern is we aren't seeing any firm offers being put on the table or any firm decisions being made with the clock ticking. There is growing pessimism about the chances for an international agreement being struck this year at Copenhagen.